Hey guys, so the battery box finally arrived along with the bus bars. So what I'm going to do is just post a picture. It's more clear out the bike that I took earlier of the box and the bus bars. They're 10 mils thick because aluminium has a lower conductivity than copper. And you can't use copper on the LTO cells. Well, you can, but it's not recommended because they're two different types of metals, the terminal and the actual LTO cell, the terminal of the LTO cell is actually aluminium, and if you add copper on it, then it starts to actually not wear so much, but it starts to corrode a little bit because it's two different types of metal. So I suppose you could say corrode. So I've had 10 mil thick aluminium bus bar made. They're quite chunky. You'll see a picture of that with the battery box below it. And so I'll show you this closer, but I've put the battery box sort of in where I want it to be in the bike. I've made ears on it. I promise you it looks a little bit like Optimus Prime. But I've made ears for where the mounting point needs to connect it to the bike. And I need to cut those down because I've made them a little bit bigger in the 3D drawing just in case I was off, and then I'll use a Dremel just to sort of shape them to more or less where they need to mount on the bike. You'll see it's a bit more clearer when I show you on camera. So let's go closer to the battery box and you can actually see what I mean. Okay, so you can see I've just got a normal car jack holding the battery box more or less where it needs to be mounted in the bike. So let's give you a front shot here, sorry. So you can actually make out the shape, and there's the ears. Now the reason why the ears are here is, let's see if I can actually show you, but the ears are here because behind them, I hope that's clear enough, behind them, wow, it's difficult to actually focus, sorry guys. Behind them is actually the front mounting points where the old internal combustion mounted. This is 3 mil aluminium just for strength. You can actually see the aluminium welds over here. Now what they didn't do at the engineers is weld the inside, which they'll do once this goes in for powder coating, but they've really done a really nice job. The company is called, and listen, I don't get paid for this. I'm not in this for advertisements or anything, but I do believe a shout out, where it's due is recommended. So the company's called Vomak, VOMAK Industries. They actually were the cheapest out of everyone. No one really wanted to help me with this project, and they've done a phenomenal job. If you're in South Africa and you're looking to engineer something, have a chat to a guy called Deerwald at Vomak. That really awesome guy. Anyways, the problem here is if you look at where it's going to mount at the back here, because I need to drill a hole into this battery box. Let me just come out here. I need to drill a hole into this battery box over there where this back mounting point is, and that hole, well, this battery box needs to come up, right? Otherwise it's going to cause quite a bit of a problem with the fairings. As it is, the bottom of the fairings don't totally close, but you don't see it because it's underneath. So I need to get this way further up. I can't get it further up because I've oversized these ears just for play. So because I've got to be really careful here not to mess it up, what I'm going to do with the Dremel is slowly on both sides, this side and the other side's mounting point, I need to just take pieces off until I'm happy with the height, obviously, that this is sitting 90 degrees, you know, on the bike, you know, flat and flush. So yeah, I'll get into that. Let me just see if I can give you guys a better shot. Guys, just forgive me. Sorry, trying to work on the bike and film is not something I do all the time. So if you do have any questions or something's not clear, just let me know. I'll give you a shot on the other side as well, inside the box. Because I have the cover off. There it is there. There you can see the shape. Okay. They've scuffed up the surface of this. That's why you see those marks on it. Just in preparation of powder coating. I requested they don't powder coat it yet until I've done my changes, drilled and so forth. So the box looks nice. Let's see if I can show you this side. You can't really see much, but that's the inside of the box. They've put these screws over there for where the actual covers mount. So these Vomac guys know what they're doing, and they don't charge that much. As I said, don't get paid by them, but I believe recognition is important where it's due. Okay guys, so I've cut the tabs of the ears of the box. I just call these things ears, but anyway. So I've cut some ears off there. They need to go down a little bit further, but as mentioned, I'm doing this really slowly because I don't want to, you know, mess it up. It's not exact science. Well, I suppose it is exact science, but I don't have lab equipment here. So I'm doing it slowly so, you know, it's less chance of me making a mistake. So those ears are cut and the box fits higher up on these front points there. Let's just focus on the front points there. Now I don't want to cut off any more because I've got a little play around here. I will need to shave these down a little bit later, but what I noticed on these back points and that back point there, what's happening is, because these are at a slant, okay, because those are slanting up, the corners of the actual box itself aren't sliding high enough into the mounting point so that when I drill the hole, at the moment it wants to drill about there. So I need to get it a little bit further down so that it's in the chunk of the aluminium, right? So that it's got a good strong, you know, solid connection, so it's holding this box stable. So what I've had to do, let's see if I can just get in there. What I've had to do, you'll see I'm very lightly buffing off a little bit of the surface on this side, and I'll be doing it on, you know, the other side as well. But I'm gently buffing in because it just needs to be this corner. As it goes forward to the front, obviously it levels out, but yeah, I just need this back piece a little bit buffed out there, and it's still got a bit of meat in terms of aluminium on the front. So yeah, that's hopefully, look, I'm as mentioned again, I am going slowly on both sides because obviously I don't want to mess that up. Okay guys, so the box is in. It's not 100% exactly where I want it. Reason for that is over there. You can see those tabs still need to be cut down a little bit. And at the back there, let's see if we can give you a shot. Let's just try. Okay, cool. You can actually see it's not too bad, you know, from there to there, sort of like a just over a finger of aluminium. I'd still like to get it slightly more back, but I need to put the cover on first before I can gauge that. But tonight was just all about getting it sort of in place on where it needs to be. Ideally, I'd like this piece here to line up with there, but you know, I still need to leave enough space between this box and the motor. There's a cable, it's the negative cable that runs down over here. It's marked negative, but I've left all power cables red, and then I've marked them with what do you call it, shrink tape, or heat shrink. Yeah, so I'll need to put that cover on, but like I did say to you, I am going to just take this really slowly and, you know, make minor adjustments as needed, because that way there's less room for error. Yeah, but if you look at overall how it looks, I think that looks pretty awesome in the back. So I'll leave it there on the jack. One thing I do need to do is at some point while adjusting this, I'll need to actually put on the fairings and check that the fairings fit. As I said, the bottom here, the fairings, because of the width of the bottom of that box, the fairings don't close completely, but that's the only way to fit these 32 LTO cells in there. But that's not the end of the world. It just means the fairings at the bottom over there are they're not closed, they're just slightly open. It's not an issue, but I'll show you that a little bit later on. Sorry we're skipping around, it's just that this battery box just arrived. We'll still go through each of the components a little bit more in depth from the previous video. But yeah, these need to have holes drilled both back, front, for both sides. Yeah guys, thanks for watching. It's getting a bit late, yeah, so I'm going to finish this video now and send it out. Okay, sorry if the audio quality isn't that great. This is a different night to the first part of this video. Yeah, this battery box was a motherfucker. Sorry to say it that way, but it was. I tried to braze bolts into the center there, well, into the back there. Yeah, brazing's not fun. That's definitely a skill. Eventually, I was starting to destroy the battery box from the heat, so I decided to can the brazing. Not sure if some of you know what Q20 is. Eventually I Q20'd all around the actual bolt on the inside, because remember, this box needs to go into the bike as one complete unit. I can't unbolt this back cover, bolt it into there and then put the back cover on. It's not safe. So, you know, with this cover on and no way to get in there with the cover on to hold the bolt in there, yeah, that Q20 liberally spread around there. That's some good stuff. Don't have the box here to show you, but yeah, that Q20 stuff is pretty good. It holds that bolt in there quite snugly. And then I have drilled bolts, or holes for the bolts in there, and you can see the other side on that side there, for the battery box, which is now in. There is something that didn't happen quite the way I planned. It's not great. not great at all. While trying to put this cable tie in to hold this wire loom, the bike's 12-volt wire loom, out of the way, this cable, the previous cable tie, snapped. And on snapping, my arm flew and broke the damn fairing. So one or two choices: I can get that repaired, or I can repair it. I did glue it a little bit there. Very annoyed. Did glue it a little bit there. Yeah, I suppose I can get fairing repairs later on once the bike's running, or I can just put on a new fairing. I kind of like these color schemes, so I didn't want to do that. But yeah, anyway, besides that, on the positive side, the battery box is in. It looks awesome. You can see how it contours to the fairings over there. And yeah, quite pleased with that. So the next step is this battery box needs to go into, or back into the engineers for powder coating. Before that happens, I need to figure out where I'm going to draw my battery management system wires over here, and the most negative and most positive wires, and then powder coating, which will take some time, probably about 4 days, and then we can install it in the bike. And then the fun part of installing the batteries and getting the BMS attached, I'm scared shitless, but excited like you cannot believe at the same time. I just want to thank my friend Leo. He's built his electric bike already, and yeah, he's been an amazing help on this project. So yeah, shout out to Leo. Alright, so when we get onto the BMS, or if I find something, you know, while I'm waiting for this box to be powder coated, I'll record a new video. Awesome. Catch you on the next one.